Yeah, on this particular one, I'm gonna talk about the happy 60th birthday to the one and only Michael Joseph Jackson, the king of pop, probably the king of music. I mean, I might put Stevie Wonder up there, and there's a couple other people I'll throw in there in consideration, but the most dominant musical figure of my lifetime, left a lasting impact. Tomorrow would have been his 60th birthday. And when I think about all the trials and tribulations the man went through and what he did for his art, what he did for people, and what he represented for the world, it's mind blowing because he was truly a musical genius, a musical great, an ambassador as an artist, all around artist. Uh, Incredible with what he could do. His words, his voice, his talents just touched people enormously, and it felt. And no matter what racist RIA and Sony and all them other turkeys tried to say, man sold more records with that album. Thriller was the biggest selling record ever. Everybody on that record, and he reverberated. He was like a message in a bottle that resonated with people. It was very profound. His music was an event. He was an event. He was like, you would just stop. Michael Jackson's doing something. You had to check it out. He had that kind of aura, that kind of impact, that kind of depth. He represented it on stage. He represented it on his albums, and he represented his philanthropy as he gave back from all over the world, Africa, Europe, everywhere. But I knew Michael Jackson. The man, when you talk about put some respect by somebody's name, you put some respect by the king of pop, by the king of music. Bump that because he was a civil rights leader. He took a stand in a racist industry by making himself that I'm going to amount, that I'm going to matter. And his groundbreaking music and his work opened the doors for a lot of opportunities. And there was a lot that the man did that people didn't know. So his creativity, his influence is vast. You see it on so many acts. So many. You go from Bobby Brown, Usher to R. Kelly, and you've seen it. You know, we saw it on a lot of artists that were inspired and impacted by what this man represented as an artist. You know, even on white artists like Timberlake, Bieber, and you saw it. Saw it on Madonna too. You seen it. You see it on Beyonce. His sister Janet, Britney Spears. You name. There's a lot of depth that is owed to the great Michael Jackson, and he would have been 60. And why he may not be here, and so his spirit and his music always live on, and what he represented. Um, he was a down to earth, um, great talent, a man that gave a lot of himself and represent a lot the best in people. And he set a standard. He learned that from the old school. He got that from watching Fred Astaire, Gene Kelly, to James Brown, to Jackie Wilson, to Sam Cooke, and Smokey Robinson, Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, and the greatest musical man ever, in Berry Gordy. Michael Jackson was a sponge of that with Gamble and Huff, to his time with Quincy Jones, and etc. And there was a student that he passed that knowledge on to when he worked with the Teddy Riley, to when he worked with R. Kelly and others. So it's a lot of greatness that has been bestowed, and it's important to respect that came before because Michael Jackson opened a lot of doors and paid a lot of dues and paved the way for a lot of genres of artists and inspired who've been inspired by his legacy, his impact as a music icon and an artist. So I wanted to wish him and his family and thoughts and happy 60th birthday. Though he's no longer here, rest in peace. And music lives on. The greatness, the depth, the magnitude, the genius, the hard work, the determination. And again, I forgot to mention, you see Michael Jackson, obviously, when you see Bruno Mars as well. So people are, you can go from many different eras and decades. His timeless, great artistry. Respect to Michael Jackson.